Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the September 2017 National School Lunch Program webinar. My name is Heather Bloom, and I'm a coordinator with the Child Nutrition Programs. I work with the National School Lunch Team to conduct trainings through an administrative review and training grant, and I work on a wellness grant through the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to promote school wellness and healthy nutrition environments. Please remember to spend the time spent viewing this webinar towards professional development hours to meet USDA professional standards requirements. We will discuss topics that fall under the key areas of nutrition, Learning Code 1000, Operations Learning Code 2000, and Administration Learning Code 3000, and the relevant learning code will be written on the bottom of the screen to which it pertains. We will start today's webinar discussing the policy memos that were released recently, and then move on to program reminders. We will end the webinar with success stories and time for questions. So let's go ahead and start discussing those policies. We actually only have one policy memo to cover today, and that is SP 42/2017, which pertains to beginning verification before October 1st, and it's a guidance to local education agencies, also called LEAs. So this policy memo addresses beginning verification before October 1st, and the National School Lunch Act states that verification must be based on a school sample size as of October 1st each school year. However, USDA Food and Nutrition Service regulations at 7 CFR 245.6a(c)(3) allow LEAs to begin verification once they begin the application approval process for the current school year and have approved applications on file. So this means LEAs are not required to wait until October 1st to initiate the verification process and may instead choose to begin conducting verification once they begin the application approval process for the current school year. For some LEAs, particularly those expecting large verification sample sizes, starting earlier than October 1st may ease the administrative burden associated with verification processes by distributing tasks and responsibilities over a longer period of time. In practice, conducting verification on a rolling basis, such as weekly or monthly, helps LEAs to mitigate a possible rush of document processing and follow-up communications that may occur when sampling and household outreach occur at a single point in time. For these reasons, Food and Nutrition Services at USDA encourages LEAs to consider utilizing rolling verification. Now, if your district is interested in starting verification before October 1st, then please contact Melissa Cook in our office, and we'll talk a little bit more about verification later in today's webinar. Since that was our only policy, we will move on to program reminders. Procurement regulations in Idaho have changed, and the thresholds for small purchase procedures and semi-formal bidding have changed. Please make sure that your district is aware of the changes and has updated the language if following state-level thresholds. Keep in mind that the most restrictive standards must be kept, meaning if the district has lower thresholds than the state, the lower thresholds must be used. As an additional reminder, the new CACFP meal pattern has been updated. If you serve reimbursable meals to students who are not yet enrolled in kindergarten, then you will need to reflect this in your NSLP renewal application, which should all hopefully be done by now, and work with the state agency to ensure that the menus used in your district comply with the new CACFP meal pattern for those young children. You may also refer to CACFP 08/2017 for questions and answers related to this topic. If you have preschool-age children who eat with your school-age children, then refer to SP 37/2017 to determine whether you will follow the NSLP meal pattern or the CACFP meal pattern. October 1st, 2017 is the implementation date for meeting the new meal pattern requirements. And the best way to approach this, it's not a new application, it's not a new program, it's essentially equivalent to adding an additional age grade group to your NSLP menu. So you're changing the portion sizes. Some of the dietary specifications are unique to the CACFP meal pattern, but this is not an additional application for those pre-school age children. You will be operating this under the National School Lunch Program. So, looking at menu documentation as you're reassessing and evaluating your menus, please remember to have CN labels, product formulation statements, standardized recipes available to document the crediting of food items. Those are documents that are requested during reviews. If you're operating an after-school snack program, please remember to complete the program review within the first 4 weeks of that program's operation. Also make sure to complete and retain the production records for the after-school snack program, as well as the school breakfast and school lunch programs. So production records are important, as stated in the previous slide. So in terms of documentation for tracking benefits, we want to make sure that you are noting the end date for your carryover. So make sure that the benefit issuance list reflects that carryover end date, and change the status of the child or children to paid if no benefit qualification documents are received this year. So making sure to include a termination date for the 30-day carryover is a critical step in the process of tracking benefit status, and this has been something that we have noted on reviews in the past. So making sure to change those students to paid if you don't get a new application or direct cert match for them. Another critical process for program success is verification. Since October 1st falls on a weekend this year, the start date will be October 2nd. A verification notification email will be sent to you on September 29th, reminding you that it is time to start. On October 2nd, determine the number of approved applications for the current school year. Applications for directly certified students must be removed, and applications are going to be counted as 1, income eligible free, 2, income eligible reduced, or 3, categorically eligible free, based on a food stamp number, a temporary assistance for Idahoans number, or food distribution program on Indian reservations number, which will be listed on the application. So then beginning October 2nd and continuing through October, select applications to verify, send the notification to the households, make sure you keep a copy of all correspondence and the associated dates, and then run direct certification. So at the end of October, once you've completed that process, you're going, and also the beginning of November, you're going to send the second notice of to households that have not responded with the date of benefits, and list the date the benefits will end if the household does not reply. So send notification, second notification of verification, listing the date that the benefits will end if they don't respond. On October 31st, you're going to determine the number of students approved in the categories of directly certified through SNAP or food stamps, directly certified through other qualifying programs, such as temporary assistance for Idahoans, food distribution program on Indian reservation, foster, migrant, homeless, runaway, as certified by your homeless migrant liaison, and then directly certified by a letter from food stamp issuing agency, income eligible free, income eligible reduced, categorically eligible. So those are the categories that you're going to determine the number of students affected. And for schools operating CEP and provision to lunch and breakfast, it is still a requirement to run a direct certification match in mid to late October, but no later than October 31st for all schools not taking free and reduced applications. So verification does tend to hit everybody. Then November 15th is the verification deadline. All verification processes must be complete, and reports must be submitted in My Idaho CMP, including reports from districts operating CEP or provision to breakfast and lunch. Verification documentation, including notification letters in English and instructions on completing the report, can be found in My Idaho CMP download forms. Additional information regarding verification can be found on the Idaho School Nutrition Reference Guide on the State Department of Education Child Nutrition Program website, as well as in the Eligibility Manual for School Meals. The 2017 edition of this is also located in download forms. And lastly, you can get information on verification by contacting the state agency office and asking for Melissa Cook at macook@S as in Sam, D as in David, E as in Edward.idaho.gov, or calling 332-6830. So if you are interested in translated applications and letters, those are available at the USDA website, and you can find that simply by searching for translated applications on the USDA website. Coming up on October 4th is a live training on approving applications, benefit issuance, and verification. So if that mouthful I just threw out at you was intimidating, there is an opportunity for you to come and ask questions and get face-to-face conversation and training, and that is available through the Child Nutrition Program Digital Learning Portal, and that class is called NSLP 201, Understanding Eligibility Status. So this is a training that will be offered in 4 different locations, held concurrently in Gooding, Moscow, Blackfoot, and Boise, and that's going to be held from 1 to 5 on October 4th, Mountain Daylight Time. As I said, you can register for that class if you or your staff have questions on approving verification, approving applications, eligibility status, tracking benefits, and you would register in the CMP Digital Learning Portal. So, and you may also email me at hbloom@sde.idaho.gov if you have specific questions about this training. An additional training in October is the Bootcamp Training that will occur October 17th in Boise for new sponsors and those directors who would like more training on key topic areas. This class is actually rather close to capacity, so if you are interested, you'll definitely want to go and register sooner rather than later. An online course that recently became available in the CMP Digital Learning Portal is the Provision to Breakfast Training. This course has been developed specifically to increase your understanding of implementing Provision to Breakfast, and it's breakfast only. It provides an overview of Provision 2 and related terminology, as well as covers the procedures and requirements for the base year, non-base years, and subsequent extensions. Please register for the course on the CMP training portal. The course is titled Online: Provision to Breakfast. The Idaho State Department of Education Child Nutrition Programs is now accepting National School Lunch Program equipment grant applications from school food authorities throughout the state of Idaho. School food authorities may submit a completed equipment grant application by September 29th, 2017. The grant application is available at the SDE website under Grant Opportunities. All grant awards are contingent upon available USDA funds. If you're looking at applying for an equipment grant, any type of kitchen equipment is allowable if it can support at least one of the 4 USDA focus areas and also meets or exceeds the $5,000 capital equipment threshold amount, unless your school food authority has a lower capital equipment threshold. Prior to purchasing the equipment, we recommend that you consider the site's existing space, equipment compatibility, delivery timeframes, and equipment budget. Equipment ideas include a food cart, blast chiller, walk-in freezer or cooler, salad bar, dishwasher, convection oven, or steamer, to name a few. Applications for equipment must be for equipment that lends itself to improving the nutritional quality of school meals, such as purchasing an equipment alternative to a deep fryer, or it must be equipment that improves the safety of food served in the school meal program, such as cold or hot holding equipment, dishwashing equipment, refrigeration, milk coolers, freezers, or blast chillers. It could also be equipment that improves the overall energy efficiency of the school food service operations, such as the purchase of an energy efficient walk-in freezer, replacing an outdated energy demanding freezer. Or lastly, it could be equipment that allows the school food authority to improve or expand participation in a school meal program, such as equipment for serving meals in a non-traditional setting or to better utilize cafeteria space. Please refer to the grant application for details and call Child Nutrition Programs at 208-332-6822 if you have questions on equipment grants. So there are updates to the Idaho Food Code, and we wanted to remind schools that food safety certification requirements are changing. By July 1st, 2018, the Idaho Food Code will require a person in charge to be present at all times of food service and preparation and who can demonstrate knowledge of food safety practices. Completion of one of the approved examinations and courses will meet the demonstration of knowledge requirements in Section 2-102.11 of the Idaho Food Code. Some courses will result in a fee, so the user should review the course before deciding whether or not to use it. The state of Idaho does not endorse any one particular course, but provides a list of adequate courses on the food protection page of the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare website. In addition to the Department of Health and Welfare's website, I wanted to remind everyone that the Idaho Child Nutrition Program website has a fantastic resource and includes the Idaho School Nutrition Reference Guide. This guide is continually updated as new resources become available, and it is a great place to start if you want to learn more about a specific food service topic. The Idaho School Nutrition Reference Guide is a great resource when completing mandatory annual staff trainings for civil rights, food safety, and offer versus serve. Additionally, the PowerPoints used for the NSLP 101 trainings are available in the download form section of My Idaho CMP. So download form section is another great place to look for resources if you are completing staff trainings. So that's all we have for program reminders. We will now end with school success stories. So our first success story is the Nampa School District, which did a wonderful job promoting the school lunch program with a colorful and informative promotional poster. Their What's for Lunch poster is graphically dynamic and visually appealing and does a great job engaging the students and encouraging them to participate in the program. So great job, Nampa. We also wanted to commend the staff at Snake River Juvenile Detention Center, who did a wonderful job preparing for their administrative review. Peggy prepared for the review by putting together a review binder that organized all the information requested and had everything ready to go. It was fantastic organization, and we really appreciate that, so thank you very much, Snake River Juvenile Detention Center. We also wanted to thank the staff at Idaho Juvenile Corrections St. Anthony facility, who did an amazing job with meal presentation for the juveniles. The images you can see here with the cantaloupe and the pineapple and watermelon, and then the pre-plated spinach salads with tomatoes were served to the juveniles, and it was such a visually beautiful meal presentation. We just thought that was above and beyond, so thank you so much, Idaho Juvenile Corrections St. Anthony facility. So those are the success stories we had this month. Does anyone have any questions at this time? If you do, go ahead and use the text box on your screen to type your questions, and I will answer them now. There are currently no questions. So I want to thank everyone for attending today's webinar. Please contact Child Nutrition Programs at 208-332-6820 if any questions arise regarding the information in this webinar. And then I want to remind everyone that the accuracy of the information shared today is guaranteed only as of the recording date. USDA may issue more guidance on further clarification regarding items discussed in today's webinar. Please note the civil rights statement shown here. This statement was issued in December 2015 and ends with, "This institution is an equal opportunity provider." Your non-discrimination statement on menus, on letters, on pretty much all public-facing documents should match the statement. Don't replace this institution with your institution's name. Simply leave it as "this institution is an equal opportunity provider." And this concludes today's webinar. We didn't have any questions pop up, so we're going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you all and have a wonderful day.